Hey there. I promised to tell you a little bit more about the painting I shared with you yesterday, Free Your Mind. It's part of the exhibit Dialogue in Black and White that's at the City Gallery in Charleston. As part of Spoleto, and it was the brainstorm of Cookie Washington, who is just a woman who makes stuff happen. And she brought together 54 artists, of white artists, artists of color, paired us, and then gave us a topic. And we were to just communicate with our partner and create a piece. And the topic that my partner and I were given was mental health. And that was really, it was really a challenge because I had all kinds of thoughts about what that meant. And, at first I was trying to do this big global piece that just addressed everybody's experience. But really, ultimately, all I can do is talk about my own, kind of as a black woman growing up in the church where you didn't need therapy, you just needed Jesus. And so anything you did towards mental health, if it didn't come from the Bible, you didn't need it. And when I realized I needed more than that, I remember talking to some of my elders who, they were just like, well, maybe you just haven't prayed about it. And I had prayed about it, but my spirit said, go get a therapist. And so I was working through that. And so, behind me is a painting. I don't know if you can see that. This was the first piece I did about Free Your Mind. And you can see some of it here. And I was dealing with that duality between, the thought that had come to me, the training from my fundamentalist background, and my need for something else, and to explore my spirituality and explore my mental health and find solutions in different ways. But the more I worked on that piece, the more stuck I felt. And then one day, just the words came into my head as I was painting, as I was working on this piece. It just said, free your mind. And I said, yes, that's it. What I want to do is I don't want to talk about the challenges that I faced so much as how I got over, more or less, or how I continue to get over. And so I set that painting, the first one, away, which is, it's a fine painting. And I started on the other one, and a young woman I knew was available at the time that I said, I'm doing this. And I said, hey, look, can you pose for me? And she did. And so I created this place. What does it look like? What does it feel like to free your mind in the midst of all the stuff that comes from you? And if you look at that painting closely, and you can see it at the City Gallery, you'll see that there are news articles and Bible pages and photos of kids with guns and all that stuff in there, all the stuff that's coming at you and influences you. And in the midst of that, there's that sense, that feeling I had of, that ties me through those greens to my heritage, ties me to those greens through to my early life, but also as those greens go to seed, make seeds for future. And so that's what that piece is about. So thank you. I'll get back to you next week with the story about another painting.